So here we have question 5, part A, where we have students in a group who asked to name their favorite sport. Their responses are shown on the pie chart below. So the favorite sports are football, cricket, and tennis. And here we have the angles on the pie chart. Now they wanted to calculate the value of x. Now x is an angle, and a full revolution is 360 degrees. So what we'll do to get x is add up the 94 and the 45, and we'll take it away from 360 to get x. So we'll have x is equal to 360 degrees, take away 94 degrees plus 45 degrees. So if we go on our calculator, we could type that in. So we could put 360, take away open brackets, 94 plus 45, close brackets, press equal, and that's 221 degrees. So x is equal to 221 degrees. Now for part 2, they ask, what percentage of students chose cricket? Now, cricket is 94 degrees out of 360 degrees. So if you want to get that as a percentage, we just have to take that same fraction, 94 over 360, and multiply it by 100. So I'm going to write cricket is equal to 94 over 360 multiplied by 100. And of course, we could do that on the calculator. We could just put 94 divided by 360 multiplied by 100. Press equal, and we get 26.111. So they didn't tell us how much decimal places to write this answer, so we'll just stick to 3 significant figures. So 26, that's 1, 2, and this one here is the third significant figure, so 26.1. So this is equal to 26.1%. Now for part 3, they are saying that given that 40 students chose tennis, so we can stop right there. So 40 students chose tennis. So this 45 degrees is equivalent to 40 students. So let's write that. 45 degrees, I'll put equal to 40 students. And now they're asking us, calculate the total number of students in the group. So first I'll find out how many students are equivalent to 1 degree. So I'll put 1 degree. Now, in order to get 1 degree here, I'll have to divide this 45 by 45 to get 1. 45 over 45 is 1. So if I'm dividing the left-hand side of the equal sign by 45 to get 1, I must also divide the right-hand side by 45 as well. So I'm going to have 40 over 45. And now remember, the full revolution, your total, is 360 degrees, which will also be equivalent to the total number of students. So in order to get 360 degrees on the left-hand side, I'll have to multiply this 1 by 360 degrees, and I'll get 360 degrees. And I must also do the same thing on the right-hand side here to multiply this by 360 degrees. So I'm going to get 40 over 45 multiplied by 360. All right, so working that out on the calculator, that's 40 divided by 45 multiplied by 360. And I will get 320. So that's 320 students in total. So what I would write is that the 360 degrees is equal to 320 students. Therefore, the total number of students is equal to 320. All right, so now for part B, we have the diagram below shows a frequency polygon of the number of goals scored by a football team in 25 matches. So this is the frequency polygon here. You can see the number of matches on the y-axis and the number of goals on the x-axis. Now here we have a table where the number of matches is the frequency. So number of matches, the y-axis lines up with the number of matches here, and the number of goals on the x-axis lines up with the number of goals here. They are asking us to complete the following table using the information on the diagram. So we have here missing and here missing. So we have number of matches 5, goals scored 0. And we can see that here, number of matches 5, goals scored 0. Number of matches 7, goal score 1. Number of matches 7, goal score is 1. So then what's supposed to be the number of matches when the number of goals scored is 2? So coming down here where the number of goals scored is 2, and let's draw a line. We'll touch here and then go across here. And this will be your answer. So the number of matches will be 3 when the number of goals scored is 2. So therefore the number of matches will be 3. So now we can do the same thing here. We look for the number of goals scored, which is 5, and let's see what the number of matches will be. So you come down here for the number of goals scored, which is 5, and you go all the way up like this. So we'll touch here, and we go across, and we have the number of matches is 2. So I'm going to put the number of matches here is 2. Now for part 2, they're asking what is the modal number of goals scored by the team. Now, you know the mode is the thing that occurs the most. And to know the thing that occurs the most, you look at the frequency. So whatever has the highest frequency will be occurring the most. So let's look at the frequency, which is the number of matches. And we can see that here 7 is the highest frequency. Therefore, the mode would be 1 goal, because 1 goal occurred 7 times. Therefore, 1 goal occurred the most. So I'm going to write mode is equal to 1 goal scored. Now moving on to part 3, we are asked to determine the median number of goals scored by the team. So we could write out 0 5 times and 1 7 times and 2 3 times and so on, and try to find the middle. Or we can use the cumulative frequency. So let's set up this table with the cumulative frequency. Okay, so here I drew a table taking this information here and put it in this form. So we have the goals scored, which is X, so number of goals scored here, all these numbers from 0 to 6, that's laid out here from 0 to 6. Then my number of matches, which is my frequency, so number of matches, my frequency. We have 5 7 3 3 4 2 1, so you see that 5 7 3 3 4 2 1. And here I'll have my cumulative frequency. So now to do the cumulative frequency, we'll start with our first frequency, which is 5. So we put 5 here. And now we say 5 plus 7, which is 12. And then we say 12 plus 3, which is 15. Then 15 plus 3, which is 18. And 18 plus 4, which is 22. And 22 plus 2, which is 24. And 24 plus 1, which is 25. And this 25 will also be our total frequency, which means we have a total of 25 matches. And if we look back at the information here, they told us that the diagram below shows the frequency polygon of the number of goals scored by a football team in 25 matches. So we know the total number of matches is 25. So that will also mean that sigma f, the sum of all your frequencies, would be 25. So now, how are we going to use this to determine the median? Now, the median is the halfway point of the data, so we have a total of 25 matches in all. So I'm going to put sigma f equal 25 implies that n is equal to 25. Okay? And for my median, it will be equal to half the n plus 1th term. And of course, n is 25, which is sigma f. So we'd have a half 25 plus 1, which is 26. So that's a half of 26. And a half of 26 is 13. So the median is going to be 13th term. So the median is not 13. Okay, it's just the 13th term. So this is where the cumulative frequency comes in. Where would be the 13th term? So this 5 would mean our first term to our 5th term would be 0 goals scored. So my first to my 5th, of course, that's 0 goals. Well, it would be a 0. So the first term to the 5th term would be a 0. After 5 is 6. So now our 6th term till we're stopping at 12. To our 12th term would be a 1 goal scored. Okay, after 12 is 13. And that's the number we're looking for. So from the 13th term to the 15th term would be 2 goals scored. And that's what we want. The median is the 13th term. And from the 13th term to the 15th term will be all 2s. Therefore, the median is just 2. So my median is equal to 2 goals scored. Now, part 4, they want us to calculate the mean number of goals scored by the team. So what I'll do, I'll need to bring back this table here to work out what is sigma xf, because the mean is sigma xf over sigma f. And of course, this is x and this is f. Okay, so I brought back my table with my number of goals scored, which is x, and the number of matches, which is my frequency f. And what I want is a column here, which is xf. X multiplied by f. So this x value multiplied by this f value. So we have 0 multiplied by 5, which is just 0. Then you're going to have this 1 multiplied by 7, which is just 7. Then you're going to have 2 multiplied by 3, which is 6. Then you're going to have 3 by 3, which is 9. Then 4 by 4, which is 16. Then you're going to have 5 times 2, which is 10. And then 6 times 1, which is just 6. And now what we want to do is add up all these numbers here, which will be sigma xf. So sigma xf is equal to, and we can use our calculator to do this. So we'll have 0 plus 7 plus 6 plus 9 plus 16 plus 10 plus 6. And that's equal to 54. So sigma xf is equal to 54. So now the mean is equal to sigma xf over sigma f, which is equal to sigma xf is 54 over sigma f, which is 25. So that'll be equal to, and of course we use our calculator for that. So let's clear this off and put 54 divided by 25, which is equal to 2.16. So our mean is 2.16. And of course, that is 2.16 goals scored. Okay? And that will bring us to the end of this video.